Hi, I'm Eric Robichaud with Green Goddess Supply. Today we're going to unbox and set up the Armoire. The first thing to check is that you should have two boxes, the main cabinet and the accessory box, and they are color-coded. This is the Moderne Black, so the yellow black. Just double check that your box, your accessory, and your main cabinet match. Okay, so to open the box, what we want to do is cut the tape all along the bottom. Get a helper if you can. The way this is set up is there's a cap on the bottom and it's really a slip cover. So you cut the tape all the way around, and then the easiest thing to do is lay it down on its side and just slide the cabinet out. All right, so once you cut the tape, the bottom part comes right out. Include a little styrofoam at no extra charge, you're welcome. And then now we're going to just slip the unit out. What I find personally the easiest thing to do is to hold it from the air intake holes here. Try not to pull on the plastic here, you don't want to break this, but if you get a grip on the two air intake holes, you can pull it, slide it out. Once you get a little bit of the cabinet out, like 3 or 4 inches, one thing you can do is cut little slits in the top to make a little handle, and it also allows the air in there, which kills the vacuum and makes it easier to slide the unit out. But just make sure you move the unit out a little bit before you cut into it, because you don't want to cut into your finish. All right, so now is probably a pretty good time to open the accessory box. It's packed with some styrofoam, and then once you take it out, you'll have an Armoire quick start guide on the top. It'll take you through how to assemble it. Of course, I've kind of done this once or twice before, so I'm all set with this for now. In the box, you'll have a little bag with some accessories. This has your door handles and a few other items. What we want to grab out here are the filter screens. Let's close it up so we don't lose anything. Filter screens that we're going to insert over the air intake holes here. The bracket is here. There's a little notch. They just slide in as such. That's it. Okay? And then next we're going to screw in the feet. So you'll have 4 feet or legs. This is the Moderne Black. It's nice and brushed nickel. Or stainless steel, I mean. And one trick that I will show you is that if you don't have enough to grab, I'm going to show you 2 things actually. If you don't have quite enough to grab here, you can actually hold this or get a pair of pliers, hold this. This you can unscrew to back it off a little bit, and then screw the whole thing back in to make it a little longer. This screw is actually one rod that goes all the way through the center. Okay. The other thing that I'll show you is sometimes we found that this disc here that's pre-mounted on the bottom, there's also one on the leg. You don't need that. You only need one. And all you do is basically just hand tight. All right. So now I have the feet installed, filters installed, we're ready to lift it. I don't like putting all the weight onto 2 of the legs, so I recommend getting a friend to help you just kind of lift it up and gently put it down. The cabinet itself, it's large and it's awkward, but it's not heavy at all. All right, now we're going to put on the door handles. In your accessory bag, you have the door handles that we're going to put on here. That's the one thing you need a screwdriver for. Okay. Now, when we go to open it, for shipping, it just has these strings so you can get into it and open the door handle. This sticker shows you where the magnetic child lock is. The sticker will come off, okay? But for shipping, it just gives you a visual cue where it is, and you have a little key fob. If for some reason that child lock is enabled, it's supposed to be disabled for shipping, but if it gets jostled around and it re-enables, then all you have to do is put it here. You'll hear it click. It's faint, I can hear it here, you probably can't, but you hear the click, and while you're holding it, you can open the door, okay? As soon as you take it away, it re-engages, so it's not like a regular key lock that it's unlocked, and now you can put your key away and the door's unlocked. It's a real-time magnetic, like now it's disabled, now it's re-enabled, now it's disabled, etc. Okay? And we have a video on the website just showing how the door lock works from the inside and from the outside, so you can check that out if you're interested. Okay? So now we're going to go and install the door handles. All right, so now here we have the assembled cabinet from the outside. Now we're going to install the internal pieces. take the door off, and then we're going to grab from your accessory box the fan. This is the centrifuge or the motor. What you'll notice is there's an arrow here. The fan bracket is already installed. All we have to do is slide the fan into it. Okay? It comes with a couple metal clips that we're going to use to clip it down. They're taped to the fan. And we're going to take it. Now what you'll notice is the arrow going this way. The fan is in the upper left. It exhausts out the top left. So the arrow shows you the airflow. You want it facing this way. And all we're going to do is get down in here and slide it right up in the middle. And just slide it in. And then what we do is we put the power pack part down. You see the fan arrows here, and when you're doing it, if you're a little closer, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but you'll see there's an arrow on the bracket that's already here. They're all pointing the same way, to the left. And then all we do is we take these little arms here, these little holders or whatever, I don't know what you call them, but we put them there, and then we use these clips to snap in place to secure the fan. All right, so next we're going to install the carbon scrubber. It comes in the box, in your accessory box. Okay? And that's going to go and be held up by the bracket here. There's a little hand-tight wing nut. Just unscrew it to open it up. And we're just going to install the carbon scrubber. Now, we don't use the cotton batting on this, so we can take that right off. Okay. I like to kind of shake it up a little bit. It's been shipping just kind of a little bit. It can be messy. It's charcoal, it's carbon, so you get black fingers now, so you want to be a little careful with that. And all we do is open up the strap here. Slide it over the end of the fan intake, and then we're just going to screw the nut back on. And you're there. So as you can see, I just slid it over the fan intake and tighten, put it all in and hand tighten. All right, the LCD controller module for the fan comes snapped in. If you give it a little tug and a wiggle, it comes off from the mounted electrical box. What we do is uncoil the lead wire. It's kind of a 1/8 inch audio jack. And there's a hole in the top and the back here. It comes right in from the back here. Push it in down and then feed it through. So we coil up all 375,000 feet of coil here and do a tight little coil and jam it into the box. It does fit, a little tight, but it fits. And then this plugs in here. And then you coil it up here and just snap it back on. All right. Now in your accessory box, you'll have 2 bags of carabiners or winches. There's 2 sets, or there's a set in each bag. Okay, like as such. And what we're going to do is simply clip this to the clamps mounted on the top of the box. There are 4 of them, like an airplane. There are 4 of them. Clip them in. Now I recommend, you'll find that when you clip them in, there's the latch here. It's nice to have the latch in front so you can reach it, as opposed to clipping it in this way, and then you're trying to reach around, you can't see it, it's a little more awkward. So I try to keep the clip in front. It doesn't really matter, it's just a little quality of life thing. I find it a little easier to work with. And then all we do is let the rope down, and then we're going to hang the light next. One little trick I figured out is to drop the ropes with the carabiners all the way to the bottom, then put the light on the floor, and just clip it in and winch it back up, rather than trying to hold the light in the middle here somewhere and balancing it with one hand and trying to clip it with the other and struggling. Now sometimes the clips come with a lead. We don't use the lead. We only need the little clips on the end. And all we do is put that on there as such. And if you don't have clips, I've also, on many other lights, just use little zip ties to make a little 1-inch loop if you have that. That works as well. Now, when I raise and lower the light, I like to kind of guide it. So you can go like this. So this way, rather than letting it hang on all its weight and then yanking down on this, you know, I just like to kind of give it a little support when I raise and lower it. But now you can raise the light to where you need it. Then usually I just pull all the ropes to the front, put them up in a little clip in the corner. Use those little white, like 3M clips from the hardware store. We just put them up at the corners there, get hold the ropes up and out of the way. And now we have our light. Now what we have to do is take all the electrical cords, push them out through the back, plug them into power strip that we provided. Light goes into the timer goes into the power strip. All the fans go into the out the back, or everything out the back into the power strip. You want the power strip outside the box. And then you'll be ready to fill your cloth pot. We provide you with a cloth pot and a saucer. You can fill it with soil to plant your seed. And then you'll also have your water meter. And we give you a webcam that you can install to monitor your grow. And that should be it. That's setting up the Armoire.